Hi everyone, hello Filecoin builders and enthusiasts. I'm Ainhoa from Thontax, and you can easily find me on Slack or around the world in many Web3 developer events. Very briefly about us, we are a team of experts in security, cryptography, data infrastructure, integration, protocol engineering, etc., etc. And we have been collaborating with Filecoin already for several years. We have also recently started to build and incubate internal projects. One of them is Beryx. So last year we embarked, and that's why we are all here on an exciting adventure called FVM. And today I want to take you on an adventure beyond the blocks into this fascinating journey of blockchain development. And our destination is a place where you can find data transparency, decentralization, and innovation. Our story begins with a vision, and the vision was to empower upcoming new users, all these developers coming from Solidity that were going to be able through FVM to develop their smart contracts and deploy them on Filecoin. And with it, hopefully, thousands of developers would be excited to build these applications. So we wanted to build a block explorer, and in essence, a block explorer can be seen kind of like a digital telescope, offering a closer look at all the stars that we can find in the blockchain universe. And the first challenge that we faced was defining the scope of our explorer. What data would it provide? First and foremost, we wanted to facilitate onboarding to all these new developers and easy interaction with their smart contracts. So Beryx was prototyped for Filecoin Lisbon 22 as a proof of FVM, like a way to prove that we could decode and interact with smart contracts written in Solidity and deployed on Filecoin. And it was a success, it worked, and this meant that FVM was on the right path. But there was still a lot of path to go. So we were exploring and to understanding what will developers need. We were asked to develop a block explorer with Filecoin FVM support, and we wanted to put our focus on developers. Like, why another block explorer? We already had Filefox. But at the time, we didn't have block explorers that were going to have FVM support on time. And we were starting to realize that maybe, specifically for developers, we didn't just need another block explorer. Developers have other needs like RPC nodes, APIs, faucet, conversion with this new F4 address, and resources, tutorials. Oops. So our chapter 2 is the data quest. So building a block explorer requires a deep understanding of blockchain data structures. And the challenge, specifically in blockchain, was not easy of retrieving, indexing, and storing data in an efficient way. So for us, it was a challenge, but possible because we had previous experience on this, since we actively maintain full archival nodes on Filecoin. And when we were deciding what type of data we will index and show in the Explorer, we could have gone through the path of working only with the last, let's say, 2,000 blocks. However, we wanted to have all the data, 3 million blocks. We thought that having a block explorer with data from the Genesis block would be valuable. Combining this with full support with EVM and could have some other several benefits. There were other explorers in this exciting race. They took another path. They did also great. Some of them are still developing their block explorers. And thanks to their decision, they didn't encounter some of the challenges we did. But it was very exciting for us. And so we kept working, and we were, so we wanted to really have all the data, and it's kind of exciting looking to typeset 0, getting all this information, and yeah, it feels powerful to really explore everything. So yeah, however, it was not easy, and it was not just about the data, no? We had to offer an intuitive experience for users, specifically for developers, and crafting a user interface that would be easier for them. However, yeah, the ocean is very, very fast, and Beryx was born, but the ocean is full of data and unknown creatures, and well, Beryx was going to be our little friend to guide us on this quest. Beryx kept evolving together with FVM pre-launch, launch on March 14th, and we started after launch to collect feedbacks. We realized that developers needed things that we had not thought about, like, oh, I want to verify my smart contract, and we tried to add quickly those features. However, yeah, like in any software development, specifically in an area like blockchain that evolves very quickly, it can be kind of a battle to synchronize all the time on the network and how this is evolving. And we had different challenges like testnet that were evolving. We had Wallaby, then hyperspace, then calibration, and Filecoin was having some network upgrades, etc. And also our data started to get a bit slow. And it was also crucial for us to be sure that data was accurate. However, in some cases, this was being hard, like some blocks were duplicated for some unknown reasons, or messages were being lost, and we started to improve our testing coverage to improve data accuracy. Today, we're able to reindex in less than 12 hours, and we work with multiple data aggregation levels, and we have mempool in real time. But the most important part comes now, and this will be also an open discussion, and that's why it's very exciting to be here with you. Now that we have something slowly strong and stable, we want to build the future together, and no Explorer is complete without the support of the blockchain community, and building strong connections, receiving feedback. We went to hackathons, here the hackers, etc. And this was really an instrumental part of the path. And the journey ahead is very exciting. There are some things that are on our roadmap, or we are looking into, like having more real-time data, improving dashboards, or improving things like contract verification of complex smart contracts, maybe adding views and dashboards for miners and deals, more filtering options, and thinking about a user-centric perspective. However, specifically during this week, I've heard of other exciting topics that some of them not so aware of, like IPC, subnets, Fender Mint, and I really want to understand how the same way that we had to adapt with the upcoming FVM launch, we want to understand how we will have to adapt block explorers to have full support with the upcoming changes. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I have one comment. So because I played with Beryx over the last few days a bit.
Yeah.
It's really great to see that we are like feature complete, at least the basic features that every explorer has.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you mentioned IPC and stuff. This will be for the future. But I especially like the fact that you spent a lot of time recently working like non-functional stuff, and the performance seems to be really snappy, really good, quite intuitive. So it's really good stuff with the non-functional perspective. And this is, as you say, it's hard to get done when there's a lot of data and you want to be like real time. So really good stuff.
Yeah, thanks. Like for example, I got some feedback that here we have a smart contract, for example, and we have like the core for developers to interact with their smart contracts, but we realized that getting feedback that this interact section, which is the core of Beryx, was very hidden. So now we have it here. So let's say I take my contract, I'm in the home. So now we have it here. So we wanted to build this in a Visual Studio way, like something developers are used to, or something like Remix also has now. So from left to right, like a toolbox on the left. And here now, for example, I can directly type smart contract, and I can go directly to interact section. So we're happy to hear all the feedback to make it more usable for developers. And we have, for example, recent activity. We have spoken about the conversion between addresses. So we have here a converter. If we move into calibration net, we can have also a faucet. So if I have a fresh wallet, I can directly get some the T fill. We have also an RPC node here. We have some resources, like some smart contract examples here. And another feature that we have recently added is like tracking specific addresses. So let's say I want to know what is, let's take one from the mempool. So let's see this, I can add here, we have wallet, but we have also functionality to track what is going on. So I can track this address, and I will see what is going on specifically with this address: ongoing, transaction, incoming, and mempool. Yeah, we have also the Explorer in Spanish because we are a team with many Spanish speakers. And yeah, we are very excited about evolving this. Our next big focus is dashboards. Now that we have data that we can query very fast, it will be quite easy for us to make cool dashboards. So I'm open to hear what are your needs. We have already prepared something. We expect to release that in the coming weeks. And yeah. Any more questions? Yeah.
First of all, thank you. This was great to hear the story, and thank you for being a great partner since pre-launch early days. You mentioned dashboards, so I'm really interested in hearing about it because dashboards is a very important topic for us as a team of people, making sure for FVM there are public dashboards available, reliable metrics, key metrics, and you have seen I shared some metrics during the kickoff, and so I'm curious to hear what is the current thinking, plan, and then we can, of course, chat later to async.
Sure. So now that we have all the data and we can query it fast, it's, yeah, we plan to release some dashboards with generic metrics and metrics around smart contracts, like amount of smart contracts, and like mostly very similar to the data you have displayed, but it will evolve over time. And we want this to be our focus for the next several weeks to make strong dashboards. There are two things that come to our mind. So one thing is about public dashboards. That's going to be our first focus. But we have heard and acknowledged that there can be also an interest for private dashboards, no, to track, for example, more security of the network. And we're also going to look into that to see what is possible now that we can query anything that has happened in the blockchain. So it can be very, very cool to see for security reasons, know what happened. Hopefully that works. Yeah. So yeah, you can find me on Slack. So if you have, I will share with you once we have deployed the contracts, the dashboards, and I'm happy to hear feedback on what other additional dashboards could be needed, because from our side, we are not SPs, or we are not all the time developers on Filecoin or ecosystem like you. So for us, sometimes it's difficult to understand what are the kind of dashboard that would be usable and valuable for you. So let's have these conversations. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, we can definitely chat. We should definitely connect. And one other question I have, are you guys also thinking that enabling self-serve dashboards like Dune analytics like features, because it's trickier to provide, and I'm just curious if that is something that like could be, or it's like no, it's going to be very hard for us to query.
It's kind of on the roadmap. So we were thinking about widgets and to have the ability to really have super advanced filtering. Let's say I want to extract data from these 10 addresses during this amount of time, or for this type of methods. So we think this is very exciting, and we definitely want to explore that.